We are back. It's a Monday behind the counter. I hope everyone is doing well. Hotter than hell here in
Hotter than
New York.
Joe Mama.
It is a whopping. Last time I checked, it was 91 degrees. But I don't know if you guys ever know. Maybe it's just me. I would consider myself a sweater. Like, I'm always uncomfortable. If I'm hot, I'm uncomfortable. I don't know how you guys are. Like, if I'm sleeping at night and I'm sweaty, nope. Whatever's going on needs to stop. Rather it's a window not open or the AC's not cranked up. Like, I can be cold. Like, in the winter, I can be cold at night. But when it comes to, like, I can't stand you. We all had, and it happens here. And luckily, knock on wood. It's all knock on wood that it doesn't happen. We've had some AC issues in the past where it brings out everybody when the AC goes down. It brings out the true. There's meltdowns. There's I just can't take it anymore.
I get extremely unreasonable when I'm getting super
Mike
hot.
becomes a whole different person. I'm not firing these games. It's a whole different
I've done
atmosphere.
research, though, on it. The heat can cause people to go psycho.
But luckily, like I said, we haven't had any of that here. Seems like whenever I do say that, we have an issue. So, but nonetheless, it's 91. It's but what I was getting to is we walked outside and I was getting stuff, and when it's so hot, I wasn't even sweating. Has that ever happened to you? Like, it'd be like 65, 70, and you're like, and then it's like 91, and it's like, I'm actually not sweating at all. I don't get it. Maybe it's just me. Maybe
it was weird. Yeah, I guess I wasn't really sweating when I was walking around, but when I got into like my freshly hot car, I was completely drenched. I took a shower for work, did everything. As soon as I got in my car, drenched within like 45 seconds. It was horrible that way, but once you're out and walking around, it's not too bad.
Would you guys like the heat or you like the cold?
I'd rather live in the North Pole.
Impervious to cold, as you know. Doesn't bother the cold doesn't bother me in an iota. Heat is what kills me.
But nonetheless, as much as I do like the summertime better than the wintertime.
I would like it.
Are you guys a winter people?
I like being able to get outside for the activities and stuff in the summertime, but I like the winter. The only thing I don't like about winter is driving in the fucking snow. I can't stand it.
Yeah, I like
everything else about it. Love it.
I like the heat. I'm just a sweater though. Like when I'm inside, I gotta be comfortable. Like I don't mind being outside in the heat. I mean that's fine. It's just when I'm home and it's time to chill. If it's hot, can't do it. Unacceptable.
It's pretty reasonable in my eyes.
But nonetheless, it's a whopping 91 degrees here. So I hope everyone's having a great week. We're kicking it off here behind the counter here for another week on Insane Games TV. How's everyone weekend and week? We have a good week. Last week.
It's good. It was actually super busy over the weekend.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. We had a couple fresh trade-ins.
Dave got a super wet Game Boy traded in. It's on the official mic radar. I gave it to Dan like the Castlevania deadline.
It was, and Mike, it's 100, so it's Game Boy SP 101, so it has the better backlit.
A pink one, metallic pink, a cool metallic pink.
Pearl pink is the official term. If you're gonna go with Nintendo.
True.
And it's priced at $129.99, and Mike asked for his discount. I was like, absolutely, he can get the discount. $124.99.
That's 10%, Steve.
I was shooting for $79.99. But
no, nice trade in there.
I had mercy. There was a guy that came in and he was staring at it, and I put the full out mic thing just so I don't feel bad later on. He was just like, "How often do you get these in?" I was like, "Almost never." I was
there's been. First off, we don't get SPs in that often. I mean, we sometimes do. They're just gone extremely quickly. No. So we do get them in, but we do not get the 101s in.
Yeah, but especially not the pink one. Yeah,
maybe 2 years since we've had one of those in.
Yeah.
The backlit ones for sure.
That's the collector's piece for the Game Boy hardcorest out there.
Did I regale you guys with what else it came with? The sketchiest Pokemon cartridges I have seen in a while. They were 3 Game Boy Advance cartridges, pristine. Sticker was in absolute perfect condition. The cartridge was perfect. The chip wasn't moved at all. And I looked at it and I thought, nope, that's not something someone would trade in if they kept it in that condition. And so I looked at him, and then started him up. And immediately, what starts up when you start a Pokemon game?
Is it the little bird, like the company that makes it? Was that not there?
Nope. A menu came up right away, and I was like, well, fake. Next one, menu, fake. Third one, the Game Freak logo came up. And then I'm looking at it. I'm like, there's no way these two are fake and this one can be real. And then I looked at the chip, Googled the chip. Game was made in 2002. Chip was made in 2004. Fake. So I told him, nope.
Yeah, I don't think I would have caught that.
It is good to know.
I don't know if I would call it lazy Dan or just that I would just too
I have-
naive to think that people would trade in. I would just type in Pokemon. I probably wouldn't even.
I have mixed feelings on those.
If
we want to take them in cheap and then sell them cheap and tell people exactly what it is, there's probably an interest for it because it is the complete game on the cartridge. But
back in the day, 5, 6, 7 years ago, I checked them because of battery purposes only. Now that you can just change the battery, I really, to me, I'm like, I don't even really. I always kind of forget that they're hot items for fraudulent.
Well, you should be checking them anyway, given full price, man.
To me, no, I treat them like NES games. They probably rarely ever break. So why go? I mean, would you test every Mario Brothers that comes in here?
Not every Mario Bros,
Yeah,
but
it
the
could be a fake
Pokemon.
one. There may
Pokemon.
not be Mario Brothers 3 in there.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean?
Are you saying with like the chip exchanged inside of
You
it?
can put a different chip.
I suppose.
I mean, is it not possible?
It's far more likely that you
Is
get
it
a
fair
battery
to say
being
that any
dead.
game that comes in here we can technically be scammed on?
That's not
Is
good
that
to
fair?
say.
The good thing is things like that make it overtly obvious when they've been messed with. Like,
So what's the thing about it? Systems? How can we be scammed on systems?
Those we won't be scammed on because we
We do
test those
check them,
hard.
but
Yeah.
if we could.
so the quickest thing to look at is when
Modded.
all of those Microsoft and PlayStation stickers are ripped on the back of it, screws are stripped, plastic pieces aren't fitting exactly square. When you start the system and it makes that wonderful noise people have made when they've incorrectly replaced the hard drive. Good job, fuck nut. You want cash though.
And then
Console go burr. Yeah.
and then
Modded controllers, things like that.
controllers. I mean, sometimes controllers are tricky. Let's be honest. People know they're
We've
broke.
gotten
First off,
tagged on those once in a while.
I don't care what anyone says. You know your controller broke it when you bring it in here. I'm sorry. Can we agree on that?
Yes.
So right off the bat, someone bringing in, I mean, I guess you can say that about any, but someone bringing in a controller, they know that freaking thing's broke when they bring it in here. So I love,
like-
so I love when people think what.
They're crossing
Dude.
their fingers when they're doing it.
For an acting challenge, everyone do an impression of the person when you tell them, "Oh, this left stick doesn't work." What do they immediately do?
Oh, wow, really?
Almost
was-
exactly.
I was just playing it yesterday.
I fired it up on my way here.
Don't you love the time frame they give us too? It was working yesterday when I was using it. Well, it's
I was
covered
just
in
using it this morning. What's going on? But yeah, those ones. But like for CD, how can you be scanned on a CD? Could you really put another cover on?
No, I guess.
We have a prop for that. Actually, we have an answer to that question.
I mean,
Yes, he does, yeah.
The only major problem is the skin on the CD. Can you change the skin on a CD? But what
It's
game
funny
is
you
really
say
worth
that.
doing that?
I was going through some old garbage and I found a box and it said label maker on it and it could put specific labels on CDs. So,
At this sketchy shit that someone tried trading in under Mike. I'll hold it up to the camera in a second,
It's
folks.
not the game, though. I take it, or is it?
it might be a burned PC
So
game.
it's
Is what it
a,
was.
the name of it, you'll notice
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Spyro 2, but it's a burned PC copy that they put into a PlayStation, and they superimposed the PlayStation logo on it. This got traded in, and both me and Mike were like, "Psh, we will give you exactly nothing that this does."
And the thing is, once that red flag
That one
goes
is
off,
awesome.
that changes the whole atmosphere of the trade.
Yeah.
Now, like, what else are you trying to skim in on when you come in here?
Yep, then you have to be eyeing everything after
But
that.
reality, though, cartridge, we really can be scanned pretty hard on that. Someone could come in here with Marios and put the Mario covers and take the Mario chips out and put them in, I mean, technically.
The I mean, at least the good news is that's somebody who, if someone's going to do that, they're knowledgeable and involved, and we can just immediately buzz them on the camera and just know, like, hey, when this person comes back, like,
It's not so easy too because they're also defiling like a good copy of that game to make that.
Right.
So you might get to keep the chip that has it, but you don't get to keep the.
I love how
It's
the,
useless, both
PAL
sides.
It's a PAL disc with an NTSC case.
Yep. And do you notice Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage, Spyro 2 Gateway to Glimmer, which was the name overseas for Spyro 2.
What a lazy asshole.
But at least make an effort to make it look somewhat real. But I don't know how we got onto this topic.
Just fake Pokemon cartridges in with the Game Boys.
Yeah, so busy week with trade-ins and stuff, so that's good. And then, Steve, what have you been busy with?
One Man's Trash and other projects.
Debuted on YouTube last week.
Or a couple weeks ago, we had our second episode.
Two of them up.
Today, or Saturday, and it was pretty good. Went to a bunch of Walmarts.
A lot of Walmart shopping.
Don't missell it. It was the world's biggest Walmart.
Yeah, it was the world's biggest Walmart. I don't remember what we found.
I got a kick out of it. I watched a good amount of it. They went there and then they went to the die-cast section and that was fucking empty like always. So it's like, yep, even in the world's largest Walmart.
I don't know if you have it timed. Do you have it timed on how long it takes you to literally go to every Walmart from here, or let's say Queensbury down to Albany? How many Walmarts are there from here to do you know offhand?
There's 2 in Queensbury. There's the one in Wilton, Glenville, Johnstown, Schenectady, largest Walmart, and then the outlier we went to all the way up in Ticonderoga.
And do you know any in downtown Albany? Or is that
No, there's none.
so 8?
Roughly.
8
yeah.
from Ticonderoga down.
Yep.
I bet you Ticonderoga has some gems.
No.
Your co-host disagrees with your total there,
Uh-oh.
Oh God.
saying about 15 Walmarts, not 8.
You better list them if you're saying 15.
I don't
That's a big difference than 8.
Every Walmart looks almost the same on the inside. It's either there's the food on this side or the food on this side. Everything else is a blur.
I mean, if you watch the footage of Steve in One Man's Trash live on YouTube right now, he's got that the Dan focus. There's
I mean, let's be honest. When you go into Walmart, and we've had this discussion before, you're going to the same areas you go to every time.
Every time.
Every time I go into
Oh,
Walmart,
yeah.
besides I say that, we just didn't do it a minute ago.
That
Every
was
time I walk into
fucking
Walmart,
bullshit.
it is literally always check electronics, check the die-cast, and then whatever else I'm there to get. It's literally the two, but we just went there. I say that to load up on Gatorades and stuff, and we were in and out. But we went into the food section. We didn't go on the other side.
I did say, I can't believe we went in there and we didn't even check out games or die-cast at you when we were in there, but we did get Slim Jims, so.
anybody else gotten spotted there looking at Pops?
But they don't. No.
Surprisingly, no.
Because I did. I
always
had
look.
at least one of our local folks I picked one up. I forget, it was like a LeBron James or something, and I was like, maybe I'll for my collection. And I watched them do like the.
I do get that. Let me tell you, I'm never on radar look for people at Walmart. I'm on radar look for people in Target all the time. Target is a hot spot to see anyone you know in there. And it's just you walk in there, it's just the first thing I always, when I walk in Target, I always look at the cash area to see who's like, oh, who do I know over here who's cashing out and this and that. And lately, though, it hasn't been too bad. I haven't seen too many people I know shopping at Target. But Target is a pretty big spot up where we live. Here, again, you don't really see anyone in the Target down here. But
One of these days, Mike and Dan are all going to be at the Queensbury Target.
surprisingly, between Dave, Mike, and I, we all go through the line of McDonald's maybe.
We
every
meet
day,
there from time
every
to
other
time.
day, and we never really cross paths too often.
Trying to cut down, that McDonald's always F's up my orders.
Which one? 19?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Just
18 or 19?
19.
Okay, I say 18 is good.
18, I can order that with my eyes closed, and they're going to get it right
18
back.
I
has
like
always
19
been
better
perfect.
than 18, even though they're both the same owner. You see
19's always a little bit out of the way for me. But,
See, 18's out of the way for me.
No.
So that's why you and I never crossed paths.
No.
We've crossed paths before. You were holding up the line one day at McDonald's after our shift, and I had to beep the horn.
Yeah, right.
Dave and I have crossed paths. And maybe we give the simple. But I'll tell you right now. Whoa, Steve, you go through McDonald's, right?
Sometimes.
Okay, so you can be part of this conversation. Is it not a battle when you get there and what line's moving and what line's not? Is it not the classic McDonald's battle? And they know it too. And you can say whatever you want. They at McDonald's know when and the problem is I heard a guy the other day. He pulled up. And he went on to the outside. I heard him go, "Oh, come on!" And I know the speaker picked him up. So when he got to the speaker, they made him wait even longer. You can say whatever you want.
Yep.
They definitely hear that shit.
Yes.
But it is about, and I'm not too bad. But when I pull in, and now I get $1. I get the $1 best deal around. The large soda for $1. I get it literally every morning. Now they know me by name. I had a guy the other day. He goes, he used to work every morning. I haven't seen him in a year, and I pulled up. I was like, I was wondering if you still come through here in the morning. I'm like, yep. How you doing? But
Dan's popular.
But when you pull in, luckily the exit 19 does not have a line too bad in the morning. Normally I don't have to deal with the line. But if there's a line, I park, get out, and go in and get it and get out. I don't deal with the line sometimes. But when you get up to the line, I'm like, okay, what line's moving? And I judge it. I don't know about you guys, but I judge it by the car. I look at the car and go, minivan? Nope. Other one.
Yep.
Little Hyundai?
It's
Okay.
actually not a bad tip.
Toyota Prius? Nope. Other side.
So you strategize it. I look a similar look, although to be honest, I usually err towards going to the left anyway, because the left one is the main console, and they're usually more attentive to that one. Do you have a system for?
I just try to see whatever one's shorter when I get there. Basically, although the right one does seem to go a little faster sometimes.
Do you ever car count?
Yeah,
And you pull
that's
and go,
all.
He's
That's
gonna
the
go,
first thing.
then he, this spot.
Yep.
And then when you do that, and you go, okay, it should be that car, and then when the one car in front of you does it, and the other side gets two cars that go forward, it screws the whole process up.
You know you're going to in for a wait
Yep.
when you hear, oh, and it's like, no, know your order.
There's sometimes where I'm in a good mood, and sometimes where I do the, come on, really, man? When you see that, when you see order 2, order 3, order, I'm like, seriously, what's this guy ordering? It's just like. And I tell you, it gets very frustrating watching the cars on the other side go. It can really put you in a bad mood quick. Am I wrong?
When those two things collide, those two lines, you see human selfishness and every man for himself at its purest form, and it's fucking disgusting.
Anyone else been cut off when your order's finished and the person in front of you has to get in front of you? It's like, you're not getting your order any faster. Like, you're also not getting your order first. You ordered after.
And then that's always the same look, too, when they cut you off. That's...
No. But is it not satisfying when you're in the lane and you end up going for the car that should be going? You know how it's like, let's say it's this car, and you're this car, and that guy goes, and then really it's this guy's turn, and you get to go out because you order yours quicker. It's very satisfying.
I have given people that look.
So I go,
Dan gives the eye contact.
It's completely satisfying. That is a game of politics at the line of McDonald's right there.
That's the Danny NASCAR, and he has to make sure I got pole position.
But it's a serious thing, and I'm not the only one. I mean, there's a lot of arguments there.
I'm waiting for the day that people end up getting in fights and they're over that.
I bet you if you looked up on YouTube, there are probably fights that people get into McDonald's over which car goes first. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm brutal when I know I'm the car that's going. What happens is, you ever get there when the one car, you know how there's like a little bit of space, and then let's say this car goes, now you end up going, and I creep up. I'm like, you know what, pal? I'm the next car. Hold it back, and I move right up there too. It's a game of you, who's
That's the kind of people I can't stand too. When they know it's my turn, but they're trying to edge in. I'm like, oh, you motherfucker.
What you missed the discussion is that it was Dan doing that to Mike. Dan going, I'm getting out of here.
The one at 18 isn't that bad. The one at 19, there's a lot of room for some maneuvering, and you 18's kind of.
They seem to have it. They go back and forth well enough to where it kind of works out.
I realize that the machine on the right is normally the guy doing the window. Because
Okay.
they don't have him doing the main one because he's obviously cashing people out. So he's the secondary line. So I think I figured that out a little bit. I could be a little bit. They may not do that every time, but I don't know. It's a game of politics. Did you look it up on YouTube? Anything?
For
I didn't know if you were looking it up to see if anyone got into.
Okay.
There's gotta be.
what?
You looked up fights
Oh,
for
I'll-
McDonald's.
There's gotta be. I would.
Let's
think,
just say it's happened because I could definitely the whole and like I don't know.
It's definitely a situation. It definitely occurs. And I wonder what the people at McDonald's say when it happens. What do you say to that? We'll give you a discount on your cheeseburger.
Some guy punched me in the nose because I cut him off in your line.
A horn battle. Beep, beep.
That's one thing I never really hear, the beeps in the line. Everyone knows better. I've wanted to so bad.
And then I don't know if you've had this problem at 19. There's the classic. Now it's real simple, people. When you pull into the engine at McDonald's, there's 2 lines that form. There's 3 lines. There's a line on the register on the left, the one on the right, and then there's a line for cars who drive around to get to the other side of McDonald's.
Yeah.
Well, what happens is when this car here, and then the second car ends up going way over here, and then you just can't get through. And have you ever had that problem?
No.
It was like, oh my god, I might as well should be in line. When you try to avoid the line and go
Yeah.
around, and there's a car blocking the
They
whole road.
sandwich you in.
You know, the truck with the triple wheels on each side. That the guy doesn't even know how to drive. But
Sounds like we've all been hurt at McDonald's.
it's a battle. It really, one could argue, it sets the tone for the day. When I, like, for me, when I go in there in the morning. But
teen pulled through McDonald's drive-through window.
oh god, I thought you was gonna put up the video of me getting into a fight at McDonald's.
Nope, just there's a lot of videos. So that's the McDonald's worker getting ripped out of the window. Yep.
All that for a cheese.
You put pickles in it!
Ah, you ordered Diet Coke!
I can imagine
Unacceptable! Apologize!
getting ripped out of a window would be pretty.
And I'm
Pretty
sure that guy
intense.
probably was like, nope, I'm not apologizing. And he got pulled out of the window. But, oh well. So we got way off topic, which is good. So the mall is trying to police at 8 o'clock again. Quite the dilemma. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, the mall operated from 10 to 9 for years. And we never complained, did we not? We never really...
It was
really-
It wasn't usually 9:30.
No, aviation used to be 9:30.
Okay.
Woolen was 10 to 9. And, you know, it was just an 11-hour day. But we didn't care. You know, it was a typical... And then COVID happened. And then we came back from COVID after our months off. And it gave us a new attitude. We don't like the 10 to 9. We don't want to be open at 10. And we don't want to be open till 9. We value our time. Am I wrong?
And, yep. I mean, if they have people in here, then I have no problem staying open. But that last extra bit, we're just sitting there, wasting away.
And I don't know about you guys. It's not about me paying payroll or you guys getting payroll. It's about our time. And I think, does anyone like sitting here for an hour doing absolutely nothing? I'd rather be home. I'd rather be in line at McDonald's. I'd rather be doing anything else than sitting here with no one here. I'd rather be
cutting
battling
like
people in
right
line at
home.
McDonald's for 45 minutes.
I don't know about that. I think I'd rather sit doing nothing than battle people at the cross section at McDonald's.
The only thing that could be worse is having no AC, getting a hot temper, and then going to McDonald's and getting jammed up in line. And then
Oh, because your window's all the way down, too. They can hear you. You son of a bitch.
I'm sorry, I just had no AC in the world day today. My temper is just through the roof. It's been a long day.
I'm trying to get an ice
But the
cold
rumor going around the
beverage.
mall is now they're trying to police. They're being very, very strict with the mall hours now. They want it 10 to 9. Only mall in upstate New York that's trying to do that. I don't know. So we're gonna have to have a.
Until they actually enforce it, I don't see no need to do it.
I feel 11 to 8 is appropriate. I would even go with 10 to 8. 8 to 9, ridiculous. No one is. If you have entertainment, more power to you. You know, if you have a restaurant in here or some entertainment where people actually may be in here at night to do stuff, more power to you. I think we should. But
I'm saying when the
now-
movie theater was open, that kind of made sense because people were getting out of the movies, going into the movies at
6
night.
o'clock showing. They were coming out right around then.
Right now, I don't see a point. But they're trying to do it, so we're gonna have an insane games meeting and figure out if we want to battle them all or not.
Well, I would say, I mean, if everyone else is doing it fine, but I don't want them just sticking it to us randomly. I'd say that'd be kind of unfair.
I'd just present them the hard fact of the
Facts.
fact that
One-
$7.50 is usually our last transaction.
One person walked in the mall.
Say
and-
$6.50.
I do think 7 may be a little early. I do think that. I think 7. I mean, really, are you guys home at 7 o'clock, not doing any shopping?
Sometimes.
Think when the last time you've been into Target. or
I shop
Walmart.
in the
Was it after
morning.
7 o'clock. So there's some people.
Perpetually.
So I mean, I feel 8 o'clock's a good closing time. I think 11 o'clock is a good open time, but
You can't have one without the other,
I
man.
know some people are out shopping at 10:30. So I don't know. So we gotta look at our hours this week because apparently they're gonna start sending out notices come July 1st.
That's fine as long as they go everywhere else as
I
well.
agree. Can't just be us. Netflix doing a toy store. What about that? So you have the Disney store. You know how obviously the Disney store sells all Disney stuff. Apparently it's one of their top 3 money makers for Disney. But now Netflix is jumping into the bandwagon, wanting to sell toys. So there's gonna be a Netflix store. So what could you get from a Netflix store? You could get Stranger Things merchandise.
Yeah, they'll probably have a bunch of that.
What do you think the top sellers on Netflix would be? I don't think they can sell anything that they're buying rights to. It's like Seinfeld that just apparently is going on Netflix. You can't buy Seinfeld, so maybe you can. I don't think you can.
No, I guess it'll be
I would think
interesting to
It
see.
would have to be Netflix exclusive.
Yep, the Netflix original.
So what would you have? Stranger Things would be probably number 1.
My Castlevania anime. Oh, come on.
What else is a
Put your
Netflix
finger up for
original?
that.
Wasn't that?
Ozarks? Really? I don't mean, would you sell Ozarks? stuff?
They have some, but it would be hard to sell merchandise. That You show is owned by them now, I think. So you had some creepy merchandise.
Wasn't that on Netflix?
It was, but what do you make for that? Free Stephen Avery!
Some free Stephen Avery
By
t-shirts.
the way, I think it's a great show. I'm not gonna get into it, but great show. I don't get those type of documentaries. I love. They're fantastic.
When I was in high school, or my last year of high school, that's when it came out. Our law teacher made us sit and watch the whole first season, for a week or 2, just watching that.
Sounds like a
Have you
pretty nice
watched it?
class.
No.
Have you watched it?
Yeah.
Have you watched it? Yes or no?
I don't know.
It's a thinker. I'll settle. You can say yes or no, or it's a thinker.
He seems like someone that would be guilty to me.
Yeah,
Thinker.
I would say the whole.
I've seen it.
But yeah, but what do you, yes, no, or thinker?
That couldn't have just been him.
No. Okay, fair.
So no.
Fair. I agree. I think there's some fishy business.
Yeah, you look at the trial. Sorry, I didn't watch the TV show, but I looked at the trial itself based
You can
upon.
go right in there. I'll be right in there. Yep. It's definitely a thinker.
I think their interrogation process of his nephew was pretty illegal, but that's where they have a lot of their issues there.
That's actually what it's going to be, a T-shirt with that's pretty sketch. Just a picture of the nephew emblazoned on the side of it.
Netflix is getting sued over that now. The Andy Colburn is suing Netflix for defamation, and I just read yesterday that they did tear him apart.
Yeah,
I mean, they absolutely. He's the one part that makes me really question the entire thing. And so, I mean, if they did misrepresent it, they definitely ruined his reputation. But nonetheless, the judge granted his defamation case to go through. So I don't know how much he's going after Netflix for, but Netflix better have some.
Oh, that'll be probably
get a
drop in the
shirt.
bucket for them.
Bit of a hot take, but I think what Netflix is going to do is this revolutionary thing where they have online on-demand services, but what if you just want to watch a movie for like 3 days with your family, but you don't want to have online connection. You just want to get a DVD or a VHS or a cassette tape or perhaps a 64 cartridge. You can rent it from the Netflix store, take it home. If you don't bring it home in time, you pay a little bit of a fee, but I think Netflix will be opening a rental service out of their store and selling like, candy and popcorn, having a video game membership. It'll be a really good idea. Oh, wait.
I do miss those days. Those are always fun to skim through the little rental stores.
I think Netflix will do it, but they'll do it with a very straight face, just like that. Where they're like, we're gonna do rentals. Isn't that a great idea, everybody? The one Blockbuster's like, man.
Is that one still open? We still have one, right?
In Alaska, I think.
Oh man.
Alaska?
Actually, let me just make sure I'm not continually just throwing out story.
Boom, 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 boom. Throw the mall leaders.
Tomorrow
Could probably be easy. Very easy to do. Come on. Tomorrow I give eviction notice now.
Get your pinhead out.
We take it to the rack.
Well, they would have Tiger King merchandise.
Ooh, Tiger King.
They'd absolutely have that.
That's kind of
for the
same
freaks.
Situation. No, it's kind of the same situation as making a murderer, though.
Not really.
Guy's in jail.
People are strangely fascinated with that.
Bend, Oregon is the last Blockbuster. If you search Blockbuster, they're partnered with Dish. You can call that store.
Oh boy.
Yikes.
They probably get a lot of calls that are not pertaining to business.
All right. Do you guys want to keep going without me, or you think we're good?
What time we got? You can go a little longer.
You guys want to go a little longer? You want to take over the chair?
You guys want?
You'll have to do the sound though. If you scooch out of the sound.
I'll put the Be Right Back on for like 5 seconds. Okay, and then when you come back, you can do your intro.
All right.
We'll be right back. 10 seconds.
Back to No Dan, my favorite.
This is why I subscribe to the network. It's this exact moment where you get Dan and Mike's different intros.
He has stepped away. He's got official business to handle, so we're wrapping it up with the Behind the Counter Dream Team.
Hear that, Steve? We're on a team.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say we were discussing Netflix store and what we think will be inside of it. Actually, Dave was saying they're gonna start doing rentals.
Yeah, I think they're gonna take a successful Hollywood video blockbuster model, and they're just gonna do rentals of all of their intellectual properties.
Yeah. What do you think they're gonna get in there?
A lot of just basic Netflix merchandise, like a T-shirt with a giant N on it, a black hat with an N on it, maybe a stuffed animal.
Any Netflix and chill merchandise?
If they're smart,
they're
smart, they'll do that.
Market that line.
Just go right to Ben and Jerry's, sell ice cream through them.
I mean, Amazon has a store in Crossgates now. I went in there the other day, and I was like looking. I'm like, holy shit! And it's everything that's 4-star rated higher, and they just chose randomly of those things, and it's on the walls: board games, books, random electronics, consumer things, kitchen appliances. I think Netflix would be smart to put a lot of services. I mean, if they own the distribution for their DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff like that, can fill 14 shelves with the stuff, the seasons of the Vikings alone. Like,
yeah, that's actually a good idea. If they're selling their exclusives, like some hard versions of them.
We need
some people want those.
Netflix Wii disc. Want to be able to use my Wii for Netflix.
Netflix exclusive Funko Pops.
That would
It's
be
just
pretty
an
sick.
N.
I was gonna say it's just the letter N.
With a red and
That could be bad.
what else would they have in there? Definitely toys. Let's say hard copies of movies. I think that's it. Clothes, Netflix and chill, like we said.
Could just rotate the They have autograph signings every month
That
from
would be good,
small time
yeah.
cast members from. Oh, this is background episode 4 guy eating ham sandwich from the Ozarks. Like,
They'll definitely have a table to sign you up for Netflix if you're not already signed up.
they should do like a membership rewards thing. Like, hey, come show us how long you've had your Netflix account for. Get 10% off your purchase. You like balls it. You don't have an account. You go up front and they're like, put your hand on the counter. Put your hand on the counter.
And that would be funny. How many times have you clicked yes to the "Are you still watching?" button? Every time.
That's actually what I'm going to start doing every time I go there. Can you get rid of that? Do you know? Can I talk to your manager? Can
The
you get rid of that?
suggestion box. I am always watching.
I see why that's there for like bandwidth saving and stuff, but it's still annoying.
I will tell you when I'm done.
I don't want to wake up at midnight at 2 o'clock in the morning because my white noise of King of the Hill has stopped playing. I just want it on.
Yes, I always get offended when I see that. Okay. Sometimes it's only after a few episodes too. I haven't even been watching this so long. That's bullshit.
Mike's getting real deep into Castlevania. The palms are really starting to get sweaty and suddenly ripped out like so many baby birds from a nest. What? What do you mean? Of course I'm still watching.
It's been 2 minutes.
I haven't even been watching for a full half hour.
This goes along with, everybody pissed and moaned when the Kinect was going to watch you in your living room. Probably wouldn't happen if you let that happen, huh? The Kinect would be like, nope, they're awake. They're watching.
That's a good idea.
Your Kinect or your CIA agent going, oh, he's had a tough day. Yes, he's still watching.
Just sitting there with ice cream.
2 empty tubs on the ground next to him.
Totally passed out, but they're like, oh god, that next episode's gonna be really loud. We're just gonna skip that one. Jurassic Bark for Futurama. Skipped.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where they would open up or how many stores they're gonna have, but I would definitely be interested in checking that out.
There's open locations here in the Wilton Mall. Insane Games can get you a deal. All right.
You could also go right where the old Blockbuster was in Wilton. That's still vacant.
Everywhere there was a Blockbuster, there should now be a Netflix store.
That would be a flex.
And if down south they didn't have Blockbuster, they should do it where Hollywood Video was.
We're gonna do what you guys did, but better.
But better.
And
We're
meaner.
successful. You get 1 per town, not 3.
And we had Hollywood Video up here as well.
Not downstate. We didn't. We had Blockbuster or nothing.
What a shame. That's pretty cool in there.
I used to, every time my parents would go shopping, it was so sick that it was connected right to Hannaford when I was young.
Was it?
So I would just go and hang out in Blockbuster. That was probably the classic person they hated. They're like, this little son of a bitch.
Nope. Because I'm willing to bet they were on the model of how many people were in the store. Well, there was every hour there was at least 10 people coming in and out. Just Mike walking.
One sweaty kid. Killing time.
No, you can't play this copy of Castlevania. I don't care how many times you've beaten it.
I used to, back when there was one right near the Price Chopper in Saratoga, we rented NASCAR 2000 for the PS1, and that's still somewhere in my closet.
Just sitting there.
So, you stole from Blockbuster.
That was Hollywood Video.
You stole from Hollywood Video. Have you ever stolen from Blockbuster or Hollywood Video?
I did have a copy of Dead Island Riptide when the one closed, so I was like...
So that's
guess
not
that's
stealing.
mine?
They closed on you.
Yeah.
Steve stole from Hollywood Video.
I was a
Disgraceful.
kid. I was like 5, 6.
Our Blockbuster in Westchester, super on top of things. If you were like the day it was due. Hi, this is Martin B. from Mount Kisco Blockbuster. You have a copy of due before 4. My dad would get a little hot and bothered. He's like, you know what? We're gonna trade it in after they're closed just because they called.
I used to have the little membership where there was no late fees. So when Gears of War 1 came out, I rented that, and I probably had it for like 7 months and then never returned it. But until I was completely outlived its lifespan, we all played it with our friends and all that. But what was the longest game you guys ever kept for rent? Oh, you mean him? He still has it, but
yeah. What's the total on it now at this point?
Well, the game came out in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
We probably rented it in like 2005.
Okay.
It's about 15, almost 16 years.
So 16 years.
It's like
You thieving bastard.
it's like almost a quarter of my life.
So you had 7 months almost. And I know this for a fact. 2 weeks. It was 2 weeks. It was the Lord of the Rings on VHS, the animated version, not the Peter Jackson, the like Ralph Bakshi, like la 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 la, like nightmare-inducing. Great film, but 2 weeks was exactly well, like we kept it, we went in, we renewed it, and then we.
That's a good one. That was worthy.
We tried with the anime stuff, but I don't know about you. I'm. Surprise, the fattest guy on the program is a giant weeb, but enormous weeb.
I think we're all have some weeb tendencies.
And like the anime stuff, they were like on you. They were like, this is due on the 25th. You had better have it back for the 25th because the community needs it. And it was like, gotta get it back. Someone else has got to watch this goodness. Princess Mononoke, returned, rewound.
Have you ever had a VHS tape, either when you were a kid or like teenage or whatever, that you've played so damn much that the magnets in it and the scene whatever just wore completely out and it would not work?
Princess Mononoke, we killed that VHS tape. We are the cause that no one in Westchester got to watch that movie after it. Me and my friend Justin, we murdered that tape because we started getting it on like every other week, and it started just on the ends. It started to fray on the frames, and we were like, because you know what that means. So we wouldn't rewind it in the rewinder. You'd slowly rewind it, try to extend the life of it, and then one day just.
Did any of you guys ever pull the greasy move where you have a copy of a game and it's no longer working, and then you rent one?
No,
that's a bit. It's a little bit too much. I had to think.
Whoa!
About that for a
Did
sec.
you ever do that, Mike?
Well, just once, and it was
Gears
my
of
dad. Sorry, Dad. Happy Father's Day.
throwing right under the bus.
Tomb Raider 1 for PS1.
So he was the one that went, give me the disc, Michael.
But that is why we know that trick to this day at this store. We put the little dots on the
Is that where the dots came from? Was Batista Sr. trading at a broken disc? And from
pull
now
that move. That's why you gotta kind of check it when you get it back. It's like,
Yeah,
we obviously wouldn't
fake-
sell that disc.
Yeah, fake Pokemon cartridges, or the dude that brought in that game from what's the place in Plattsburgh that we table with at Plattsburgh Comic Con. But they brought a copy of Dark Cloud back with that, and it was like, this isn't ours, and we're not taking this.
So that is a classic try to get over on gaming stores move. The old
Never.
Indiana Jones
I
move.
I will say a couple summers ago when I needed to unload some games for Cheddar, I made sure not to sell a single case, just all loose discs. Here you go.
That's awesome. Did they take off from the value for
Nope.
it? Yeah.
Not a dime.
Was that a GameStop thing?
Yes.
Or- okay.
I mean, no.
Yeah, no.
Ooh.
I mean, I did. you know what? Since Dan's not here to yell at me about it, I did hear little buffeting talk from our local GameStop against us, lying to customers about our inventory and stuff. And so I went to I said to the customer, they're like, yeah, I was over there, and they said, you guys don't carry things, you don't guarantee it, this and that and the other. And I went, oh, how a shame, they're punching down there. They're a big business. They don't need to deal with us or smack talk our work. But I have a feeling it was a new employee that hadn't had positive interactions.
Most of the people over there are pretty cool, and
they
do
shop
send them
here.
our way,
Spoiler alert.
I've gotten a lot of. I'd say it was like 90% positive and 10% negative. There was like one person that was like, yeah, I was looking for a Wii, and they just acted like this place didn't exist. Like they told me to go over to like Albany or something. I was just like,
We gotta
well, thanks.
positive reinforce ourselves.
But that was only once.
The way we best positive reinforce is what we continually do now, which is pre-order things if we want to pre-order them from our local GameStop and support your local GameStop. Give them a help out, because Lord knows the squeeze is going to end eventually. That is one of the sickest intros on Insane Games TV. the dream team's just the Wellerman version of squeezing the stock. Best.
I hope that all works out. Personally, myself, not invested, but Tom himself is super into it. But, you have anything else you want to bring up before we close out? Cam's got to leave at 6. So.
Just one last short one for us.
Yes.
Fighting games. All of us play them in varying degrees, things like that. But they just announced today, as confirmed by the head of the Tekken studio, we got Street Fighter X Tekken. Street Fighter characters, Tekken characters in a Street Fighter game. Tekken X Street Fighter is not happening. It was 30% done. It's been 30% done for over 10 years. It's just not going to happen. I'm frustrated because that's the game I was excited about. I was finally going to be able to play with Street Fighter characters competently because I love the Tekken mechanics. Hate the Street Fighter mechanics. Can't get into them. What about you guys?
I was super looking forward to playing like Ryu and other people and like the Street Fighter style format because I like their Tekken style format with all their combos and stuff like that. I would have enjoyed learning some of those in there. And let's say me and you have kept tabs on it for a long time, so that is unfortunate that it went that way.
At least we have Akuma in Tekken 7. And
I guess that
Kazuya.
kind of is like.
I can't complain because Akuma fits really well and he makes sense where he comes in after like all the mythological stuff starts happening in Tekken that they always do at the end of the boss lights. So.
Yep. Fucking bullshit that they only went one way, not the other, though. The one that no one wanted. Well, maybe some people wanted, but everyone wanted the other way around.
Yeah, oh yeah. Absolutely. Everyone was way more jazzed for Tekken X Street Fighter than Street Fighter X Tekken.
It could be just because it's way harder to do. To make their characters as in-depth as Tekken and make them balanced and respect to the series.
Yeah.
Harada could probably do it.
I think maybe down the line, some things get revived, but
it's dead, but it's on pause. So they're shelving it for not anywhere near in the future. But when we're in our late 70s, like, hey, they finally released it. I remember the PlayStation 14.
PlayStation 14, you heard it here first.
It's gonna happen.
Well, all right, I think that is it here. And say what is on Monday? Monday Night Gaming. I think that's it.
And Danny NASCAR, I believe.
Yep. I haven't heard if he's doing it, so I don't want to speak for him, but he should be.
He mentioned it on a platform on Discord.
Cam is getting ready to go, so we are going to end up. Have a good evening, everyone, and